Hello everyone, it's Diego Doom here, and today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing Max Factory Biofighter Collection Release Number 1, Guyver 3. Guyver 3 comes from the 1985 manga, Bio Booster Armor Guyver. Guyver 3 is Agito Makishima, adopted son of Ginzo Makishima, head of the Chronos Japan branch. Agito works his way up the ranks of the Chronos Corporation and becomes a prime candidate for the Chronos Elite. However, Agito has a secret ambition to not only topple Chronos, but also rule the world. So, once again, if you all have not heard of the Guyver story, definitely check it out. First, check out the manga, and then check out the several animated adaptations of the Guyver story. They're all definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. But, nonetheless, Max Factory Biofighter Collection Release Number 1, Guyver 3 is another fantastic release in the Biofighter Collection. Guyver 3 has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a very nice, very neat, very cool, and very dynamic range or articulation. So first, let's check out Guyver 3's accessories. Okay, so now let's check out Guyver 3's accessories. So Guyver 3 comes with 2 pairs of hands, 2 pairs of high-frequency blades, and 1 stand. So let's take a look at Guyver 3's hands, and we'll begin with the open hands here. So, Guyver 3's open hands are definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. We'll start with the inner palm here. We'll get some light over here too. So, the inner palm is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. It has a fantastic sculpt on the inside. And this represents the biological side of the Guyver unit. So the inner palms have a fantastic monster-esque sculpt on the inner palm. Definitely cool there. Then on the outside of the palm, you have the armor here with the biological parts coming out in between the individual finger notches. So absolutely fantastic. This is definitely very cool here. So next, we'll check out Guyver 3's Mega Smasher hands, or his cupping hands here. They are definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool also here. So you still have that same fantastic sculpt on the inside, and then the same great sculpt for the notches in the armor on the outside with the biological pieces coming out of the knuckles. So definitely very cool there. So to attach these attach to Guyver 3 via a peg system. So we have Guyver 3 here. We'll just go ahead and pull off his fist here. And once again, as stated before, be very careful with your figures. You do not want to snap this peg. That would be an absolute tragedy, as these figures are hard to come by. So, you know, the peg system, it is, it's not insecure, but then again, you don't want to push this to its limit. So, you know, swap hands with care. So we have the Mega Smasher hand here. So how this pegs in, there's a hole here in the hand. Stick the peg in there. So we'll just kind of work that in nicely. And don't do it too hard because you don't want to stress that peg out and break it. So put it in nicely, and there you have it. So now you have Guyver 3's Mega Smasher hand. Pretty cool, pretty nice right there. With a nice range of movement. It's pretty good right there. Very fantastic. So definitely cool. So Guyver 3's next accessory and his main gimmick for this particular release of Guyver 3 are his high-frequency blades. So the high-frequency blades here are definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. Now, this is a, you know, pretty much a curved, clear piece of plastic, but the gimmick here is the fact that these blades actually glow in the dark. Now, for the intent and purposes of this review, I am currently unable to capture the glow-in-the-dark feature on camera. It just won't show up for some reason, but trust me, these blades do glow in the dark, and they do glow very well, so definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. Now, I'm not sure the direction they're going with these blades, but in the manga, anytime Guyver 3, you know, has his blades extended and so on and so forth, you know, they are give the appearance that they're glowing white, so pretty cool there. You know, these blades, they vibrate at a high rate, so definitely cool there nonetheless. So absolutely fantastic here. But one thing that's neat about these blades has a new construction here. So the blades actually peg in to Guyver 3's forearms versus being pegged into like in Guyver 1 and Guyver 2. So to demonstrate that, we have Guyver 3 right here. So all we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and remove the retracted blades here. So pull those out. Now one thing to note, as you can see, these retracted blades are tiny. So do place these somewhere where you can actually find them again, because they're dying to be lost. So do be careful of that. So just pull the blades out. That exposes the holes here in the forearm. Then all you have to do is peg your blades in. So definitely very cool and a very nice and secure connection here. So absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and take a moment and we'll check out the stand and get a better view of Guyver 3 with his high frequency swords extended. Okay, so now we have Guyver 3 with his extended high frequency blades and the stand. So first, let's check out Guyver 3 with his extended blades. This is definitely very nice, very neat, very cool, and very menacing here. So definitely cool. Let's get some focus going on back there. So this is absolutely fantastic, a fantastic accessory for Guyver 3. Definitely very cool. And then one thing to also note, with the blades here, in the manga, when they extended their blades, they were often white or glowing. So I think this is kind of manga accurate for the glow in the dark effect. So I think it's pretty cool and stuff. But, you know, a lot of people prefer the dark blade version for this figure. But, you know, I think it's pretty cool. So this is absolutely fantastic here. One thing also to note, too, if you move the blades, the joints the blades peg into is actually articulated here. So it's definitely cool. So absolutely fantastic there. So very nice, very neat, and very cool. So next, let's check out the stand here. So we'll lay Guyver 3 down so he's about to fall over. So the stand here is pretty cool, pretty simple and cool. You have the Bio Booster Armor Guyver logo here in the stand, and that's about it. It's pretty much embossed, but definitely cool there. And then the stand, it's pretty unique and interesting as far as the way the figures snap in. And there's a warning here also. So the figures, all figures come to the stand. It's always a secure and snug connection here. So we push Guyver 3 in there. You can see that's kind of snug right there. And one thing I want everyone to be aware of, be careful in putting your figures into the stand because we're such a tight connection. The stand can actually rub off the paint on the figure's waist. So do be careful with that. So definitely put your figures on the stands with care. But, you know, it's absolutely fantastic to display your figures with the stand. So definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. So now that we have the accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and check out the Guyver 3 figure itself. Okay, so now let's check out the Guyver 3 figure itself. So Guyver 3 has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, and a very nice, very neat, very cool, and very dynamic range of articulation. So let's begin with the articulation in the head. So Guyver 3's head is on a type of a ball joint here. So let's see, get some focus going on. So Guyver 3 can look left, he can look right. Now, the joint on my figure is extremely tight. So, you know, he can look further than that, but also, you know, I'm not sure if this can do a full 360. Not that it needs to, but, you know, you have a nice range of movement there looking left and right. Pretty cool there. The head can look up and down. So you got that nice looking down and nice looking up. So definitely cool there. Now, in the shoulders, with Guyver 3, it seems like they took quite a few interesting choices with articulation here. So with Guyver 3 now, you'll see in the back here, Guyver 3's shoulder can extend a lot further than Guyver 1 and Guyver 2's shoulder. So that's pretty cool there. Very nice. A nice range of movement there. Once again, the arms can come out about 90 degrees. It's really dependent on this shoulder piece here. If you overextend it, this will pop off. But, you know, you do have to pop it off to get it out to that full 90 degrees. But still very cool. The upper forearm actually rotates. So fantastic there. Then the lower forearm here, you have a bent elbow right here. So this is, you know, that almost double jointed elbow, but not quite. It still has a very nice bend there. Pretty cool. Then the hands are on the peg system, so the hands can bend quite a bit. Pretty cool. And rotate around. So fantastic there. Now the upper chest here is articulated. So the upper chest, you got the downward movement and the upward movement. So absolutely fantastic. But also, once again, the signature Guyver gimmick here. And Guyver 3's chest opens up to reveal the Mega Smasher. So absolutely fantastic. And one thing also to note that's pretty cool, you know, even though there are 3 Guyvers, the sculpt for the inside of the chest panels is not exactly the same for each figure. So that's absolutely fantastic. And I really enjoy the fact that, you know, they don't recycle pieces from the production runs and stuff. So absolutely fantastic. Definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool there. So, one more innovation for Guyver 3 is the simple fact that his waist actually turns. So that's pretty cool there. So you can definitely establish those more dynamic poses. So pretty cool there. Then the legs here, the legs are constructed slightly differently, but not that much. So Guyver's 3's legs can come out about this much. It gets kind of hindered with this armor piece here, but they can also come out about this far too. So a pretty interesting construction going on for Guyver 3's waist and legs here, but still pretty cool there. So he's slightly more posable than Guyver 1 and Guyver 2, so that's always pretty cool. So this is absolutely fantastic here. Also, the legs can somewhat rotate on the ball joint, so that's pretty cool there for the legs. So absolutely fantastic. So in the knees here, Guyver 3's knees bend, so you have a, almost but not quite double jointed knee there, so it's definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. Then in the feet here, you have the up and down rotation, but also the individual toe here can actually bend too. You have to kind of isolate that so that can kind of stabilize. I'm not sure. Yeah, here we go. Moving just a little bit. So pretty cool there. So this figure is absolutely fantastic in terms of articulation. So now let's check out Guyver 3's sculpt and paint applications. So first and foremost, Guyver 3's sculpt here is absolutely spot on and absolutely fantastic here. Let's see if we can get a pretty good focus going on and maybe zoom in a little bit. So as you can see, Guyver 3's head is absolutely fantastic. One thing I like about the eyes here, it seems to be some kind of a translucent material here, so the eyes really pop and glow, so fantastic there. A great monster-esque sculpt here for the biological parts of the Guyver, so definitely cool there. Focus going on. The nice spiked head here. Everything is spot on and definitely it seems more manga accurate as with the blades. Now in the manga, Guyver 3 is depicted as being his armor is black, but in a lot of the animated adaptations, Guyver 3 is often like a very dark purple. So I enjoy this character having the black armor. I think it looks very cool and more menacing than a deep dark purple. So definitely very cool there. So this figure is absolutely fantastic. Here we get some more focus going on. This figure is spot on sculpt through and through again. This figure is simply fantastic. Now the black here, it's not like a flat matte finish or something like that. Like it has a slight sheen or a slight gloss to it, so you can see the light is bouncing off this very well. So this is absolutely fantastic and just a great sculpt, great paint applications, and a fantastic range of articulation. So this figure is absolutely very nice, very neat, and very cool. So this is absolutely fantastic. So now that we have the Guyver 3 figure out of the way, let's go ahead and conclude this review. To conclude the review, Max Factory Biofighter Collection Release Number 1, Guyver 3 is another fantastic release in the Biofighter Collection. Guyver 3 has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a very nice, very neat, very cool, and very dynamic range of articulation. So this figure is definitely very nice, very neat, very cool, and absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend this figure to absolutely everyone. Now, one thing I must admit, these figures are expensive due to the fact that we have to deal with secondary market prices. So if you can afford it and you're a true Guyver fan, absolutely pick this figure up. It's absolutely fantastic. Also, if you have not already, check out the Bio Booster Armor Guyver manga, as well as the several animated adaptations of the Guyver story. They're all definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. So check those out when you get a chance. This has been another review by Diego Doom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe.